You've probably seen going around these headlines that Elon Musk is trying to generate a legion of kids, and he's propositioning people on Twitter through their DMs to offer to have them be one of the wombs for this. The entire thing is disgusting, but we're gonna dive into it, okay? And we're only learning about this thanks to, once again, revelations from Ashley St. Clair, the mother of one of his many kids. That appears to be the truth. And he seems to acknowledge that, although publicly he does not acknowledge that the kid is his. And so we're gonna dive into all that's been revealed. It's gross, it's cringy, it's creepy, and so prepare for that. The first detail is that he has a fertility fixer that tries to set up these situations for him. Jared Birchall, whose job is to sort of groom and control these women. That's his job in life. That's everything he did from kid to now was so he could help Elon Musk impregnate people. It's a strange job, admittedly. Anyway, he offered one of the moms, or sorry, he offered St. Clair some advice, saying that Elon Musk was very big-hearted, kind, and generous. I'm gonna need some citations on that anyway. But Musk had a different side. When a mother of his child goes, quote, the legal route in these discussions, that always leads to a worse outcome for that woman than what it would have been otherwise. Plus, Musk wasn't even sure that the child was his. So shut up, take whatever deal we give you, don't speak out, because if you do, oh, maybe his generosity goes away. So you get an idea of sort of the 1-2 punch of Elon Musk and his Ghislaine Maxwell in this particular case, basically. He offered St. Clair $15 million and $100,000 a month in support in exchange for silence about the kid named Romulus. And look, that's pretty generous, I guess. But there's a lot of threats that come hand in hand with that. So I don't envy anyone in this situation. Birchall described Musk's expectations to St. Clair. Privacy and confidentiality is the top of the list in every aspect of his life, every aspect. And his entire world is set up to be like a meritocracy. Benefits flow when people do good work. Again, citations on the meritocracy. The guy was born into wealth, gem mines and all that. And he literally buys high levels in video games. He's not really that much about merit. But anyway, that's just with her. So now she's revealing all of this. Well, let's talk about how he's gonna make that legion of doom of his. So Musk refers to his offspring as a legion, his words, a reference to the ancient military units that could have contained thousands of soldiers and were key to extending the reach of the Roman Empire. During St. Clair's pregnancy, he suggested that they bring in other women to have even more of their children faster. Quote, to reach legion level before the apocalypse, we will need to use surrogates. So I guess he wanted to, use them as surrogates for both of their genetic material. So I guess he did have some sort of attachment to her rather than just impregnating these other women. He wants to use surrogates. So I guess he's at least a little bit picky about his legion, but it isn't just Ashley St. Clair. That shouldn't shock you. There's already tons of moms before her. He apparently was interested in cryptocurrency influencer Tiffany Fong. So she was covering disgraced crypto tycoon Sam Bankman-Fried's downfall when Musk did what he apparently does. He starts liking and replying to her posts. Admittedly, he's hardly the first guy to come up with that as a way to try to get something going. Musk's interactions then ramped up as Fong posted more political content in support of Donald Trump, and Musk followed her last summer. That was about when Musk sent her a direct message asking if she was interested in having his child. The two had never met in person, so that's where it got a little bit weird when he just messages, hey, want me to impregnate you? Sort of gross, and I want everyone who hasn't already remembered this. You remember when he made that comment about Taylor Swift needing to have a kid? And that was super creepy. It's only gotten so much creepier since then because that's exactly how he gets these situations set up. He just tweets at them basically. So apparently Fong disclosed the request to others and he was not happy about that. He chided her for not using discretion. She didn't have the level of discretion that he does, like when he DMs people he doesn't know to let him knock them up. That's the level of discretion he wants out of her. So he unfollowed her and that contributed to a fall in her engagement and her earnings declined. And I'm sure it's just from him unfollowing her. I'm sure he didn't tell Twitter to do something to kill her reach or anything because she said no to him. He'd never do anything like that. Now it's gonna get even weirder, but briefly, what do you think, Sharon?
Well, it's appropriately based on his belief system and value system, treating women like vessels who must capitulate, be compliant, or he will punish them because he is a dear leader and his money and access gives him power over everyone and everything. And if you don't believe that, he'll show you. He's so gross. Okay, I haven't eaten a thing today. I was gonna feast on, I was gonna treat myself and just get whatever I want. I'm no longer hungry.
I apologize for
what
that.
you did to me there. Yeah, and then you just kept going and going and going. It's just including the picture you started with. So I'm not hungry, but you can continue, I guess.
Yeah. Cat Bingo reminds us that Bill Burr said Elon couldn't get laid in high school and now it's everybody's problem. It is. And by the way, look, if you get the offer and you want to make an easy $15 million or whatever, I'm not going to tell you shouldn't do that. It's a tough job market or whatever. But all of this is super weird for a guy that I'm sure wishes, oh, I'm so famous, I'm such a genius. All these women will be messaging me, they want to have sex with me. No, they might begrudgingly take your millions of dollars, but that's about where it goes. So let's get to where it gets even weirder. So this is about Ashley St. Clair. So not long after the birth, Birchall, the fertility fixer, pushed her to sign documents keeping the father of the baby and details regarding her relationship with Musk secret in return for financial support. That's the deal we talked about previously. She declined to sign that agreement, and 4 days after her post acknowledging Musk as the father, the offer was rescinded because again, he wants total access to you and all that. He wants to do whatever the hell he wants, and you have to be like super cool and also silent about it. You shut up. He's making this legion of kids. You're not supposed to blow up his spot. But I apologize to the TD. I want to go back to graphic 5 because there's one last little weird wrinkle. So while St. Clair was pregnant, Musk urged her to deliver the baby via C-section and told her he didn't want the child to be circumcised. Musk has posted on X that vaginal births limit brain size and that C-sections allow for larger brains. Okay, we're gonna return to the circumcision. So I'm not a doctor and I'm not a genius. I have those two things in common with Elon Musk. The thing about the vaginal birth and brain size is that naturally, via evolution, as our heads have gotten bigger, it's a concern. It leads to health risks and all that because our brains have been getting bigger, our skulls have been getting, all that stuff. It's not that if you individually have a vaginal birth, that brain will be smaller than it would have otherwise been. What the is he thinking? That's not how that works at all. He's talking about an evolutionary thing. He thinks it's like an individual thing. Like if you give a C-section, well, then your brain clearly will be bigger. He is not just not a genius. He might be one of the dumbest people on earth. I guarantee Marjorie Greene has a better understanding of how that works than he does in this case. And so I don't even care that much about the circumcision thing, although it's super weird that you're not gonna publicly acknowledge a kid, but you're really interested in what his dick skin is like. That's super weird, but the C-section thing is the strangest part overall. Anyway, I apologize. I'm grossed out too. Any final thoughts?
Just that this guy is got some serious, in my view, diagnosable things going on. He's far too interested. Okay, I once broke up with a guy because I'm not gonna sit here and argue with you over, we're trying to pick the color of the couch, okay? I'm gonna handle this. You said you were gonna handle that stuff in the kitchen. And I saw where this was going. And can you imagine? You know, it all sounds good, all this money and stuff. If you're that kind of person, and like you said, I'm not gonna judge people. But then when you have to realize that, oh, you mean I actually have to like sleep with this guy? It all goes out the window. Like it means you're gonna have to at least a Blue Origin duration flight or trip, handle business with this guy, and then it's never gonna happen, never.
Oh God, we've seen his level of coordination with his jumps and stuff. I can only imagine. Look, if it's like a donation or something, okay, 15 million. If the act has to happen, that's 100 million, and the dude's got the money.
Yeah, you're right.
Anyway. By the way, he only posted in response to this, TMZ's greater than Wall Street Journal, which did the reporting. Yeah, no, he's admitted it's true. It's true. He's grotesque, and I can't wait until we no longer have to worry about him.